What's going on, everybody? I'm Eric and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about financial independence and passive income. What is it, why I want it, and how I'm making it happen. Keep watching to see how simple it all really is. So first, what is passive income? Passive income is generally understood to be income that requires little to no effort to maintain following the initial effort. It's the continuation of pay for which you are not actively involved. An example of this would be an author that writes a book. There's the initial effort that goes into writing, editing, and publishing the book. But once that's done, the author continues to get paid year after year every time that book is purchased, for virtually no further effort. It's essentially doing something once and then getting paid for that single effort over and over again. My job, and most people's jobs, do not earn passive income. I won't get paid today for the work that I did yesterday. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to get paid today unless I go to work today. I got a couple hours. Okay, so what is financial independence and financial freedom? This is essentially having enough money to pay all of your expenses without having to be employed or rely on others. It's living independently of an employer. Most people, and myself included currently, are dependent on their jobs. The roof over my head and the food on the table for my family is dependent on me going to work every day. Now, to me personally, financial independence is earning all of the money I need on my own, not by working for somebody else. Earning money by doing what I want to do, when I want to do it, and how I want to do it. So I'm going to talk about all the ways I plan to achieve this type of financial independence, some of which includes passive income. Now I want to talk real quick about why I personally have dedicated myself to attaining financial independence, the why behind this financial journey. I became a father about 5 years ago, and it affected a deep change in me. My priorities suddenly changed. I viewed everything and thought of everything completely differently. Even some of my political views changed inexplicably. It's hard to explain, but I was just different. Now, I firmly believe that family is the single most important thing in life. And I don't want to spend half of my life away from my family, working for somebody else. I want to have breakfast with my kids every day. I want to pick them up from school every day. I want to have dinner as a family every night. I want to put my kids to bed every night. If family is the single most important thing in life to me, then how can I spend the most time possible with them? I need to be financially independent. That's how. I need to earn money on my own terms. I don't want to be a slave to any employer, any bank, or anybody for that matter. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying I don't want to work. I mean, that'd be cool, but I don't play the lottery, so. I will work to earn my money, but I want to do it for me and my family, not for anybody else. Just this whole idea of having to be somewhere at a specific time and having to stay there for a specific amount of time and having to be dressed a certain way and having to be groomed a certain way, it's just bullshit. I don't want anybody to dictate so much of my life. I want to be my own person. I want to dictate my own life. Now, I know there are people out there, and I'm sure you've encountered them, that say, "Welcome to life, son. That's the way the real world works. Typical non-conforming millennial." If that's you, call me what you want and just keep on in your rat race. Now, there are a million different ways to become financially independent, but I'm going to talk real quick about the 5 ways that I'm going to achieve it. And I really believe that having multiple sources of income is really important to attaining financial independence. Look at any successful, wealthy, or rich person. They all have multiple sources and streams of income. So number 1 would be real estate investing. I shared with you in my welcome video my goal of owning an investment property by July of this year. Well, fortunately, so far, I'm on track to meet that goal. I'm in the process of getting a home equity line of credit to use as capital for a rental property. If you'd like to see how I started that process, you can watch this video. Now, the rental property will be semi-passive income. I'm still going to need to be involved and do things from time to time, like take care of repairs or other issues that pop up. But for the most part, I'm just going to collect a check every month. Now, obviously, owning just one rental property is not going to make me financially independent, but it's a start. Now, the great thing about a rental property is that somebody else is going to be paying down my mortgage on that property, covering all expenses for me, plus giving me a little extra to pocket as profit. I think a great benefit of this type of investment that a lot of people don't realize is that it's compounding. Initially, I may only be profiting a couple $100s a month, but with each month that passes, my mortgage amount on that property is going to go down while my equity goes up. In 30 years, I will outright own that property, and effectively, someone else will have paid for it. Now, number 2 is more or less a 1.5, and that would be becoming a real estate agent. I'm currently doing the online course to get my real estate license, and I can't wait to get started with this. Now, becoming a real estate agent isn't going to earn me passive income, but it will earn me freedom. The freedom to make my own schedule, work whenever I want, and for as long as I want. Plus, I like the principle that you get paid for the work that you put in, and the compensation can be quite lucrative. Now, obviously, this is is going to start off as a part-time gig for me, but it's part of my long-term plan for financial independence. Stay tuned for the next episode where I'm going to have a great friend of mine on the show who is a real estate agent to discuss in detail how to become a real estate agent and what it's all about. Number 3 is with the stock market. My investment strategy here is very long-term. I've made some initial investments in the stock market, which I plan to leave untouched for 20 years or more. If you want to see why this makes sense, watch this video. Now, this type of investment will also earn me passive income based on the specific stocks that I've chosen to invest in. As a matter of fact, I just earned my very first bit of passive income, which came in the form of a dividend from a stock that I own. So far, it's the sweetest 27 cents I've ever made. But more importantly, it's progress. It's the first real, tangible bit of reward that I've received since starting this financial journey just less than a month ago. Now, number 4 is through public speaking. I've been told most of my life that I have a loud voice that carries, and with it, a presence. When I was a teenager, the pastor of the church that I attended asked me to join him on stage to talk about sibling relationships. The service was held in the auditorium of my high school at the time, which was pretty big, and I'd guess that there were several hundred people in attendance. I was probably about 15 years old at the time, and I remember being surprised at how comfortable I felt on stage and actually enjoyed it. About 5 years ago, I gave my class graduation speech in front of about 300 people, and again, I enjoyed it. My wife, family, and friends have suggested many times over the years that I get into public speaking, but I never really took it seriously and just kind of dismissed it as nothing more than a compliment. Well, in the spirit of making it happen, I've decided to pursue this as another path that leads to financial freedom. Now, there were a million excuses running through my brain about why this wouldn't work and why nobody would hire me, but I promised myself that I would quit making excuses and make it happen. So I just randomly emailed the principal of our local high school and told her my idea, not even really sure if I'd get a response. Well, a couple of days later, I was sitting down with her in her office talking to her, and now I'm working with some of her staff and her teachers to set up speaking engagements for some of their classes. Now, number 5 is e-commerce, which I'm still learning a lot about and really don't know a whole lot other than I'm going to do it. Look for another video on this in the future. Now, the main idea of this video is just to share with you why I am doing this and to show you that there are a million different paths to financial freedom. Now, one of my goals in documenting my financial journey on this channel is to inspire people to action. These are all ideas that I've had in my head for years, but I just kept them in my head as ideas while just dreaming about being able to quit my job. Take those ideas that you guys have in your head and put them to action. Do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button for me. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that now. I'm really excited about the next video that I'm going to do with my real estate friend. Now, stop making excuses and make it happen.